What so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sang just as star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land and the brave and the home of the la libertad sublime derrama las auroras de su invencible luz, la humanidad entera que entrega de nacer, convierte las palabras del cielo y la
It's nice to be here. Fabio and Mayor, thank you for all your efforts in putting this together. I want to thank everybody for being here. And I want to thank you for your passion for doing good, for trying to help other people. We live in a great country. We're blessed. We have our freedoms. Now, we only have these freedoms if we elect people that are going to fight for our freedoms. And so these elections are really, really important. Let me first talk about the Senate job. So if you need something, if you don't ask, you will not receive. Okay, it's just as simple as that. I've got a great team. I've got actually two teams. I've got my my office team, and the way it's your money, so just so you know. So you should have high expectations. We have 9 offices in Florida, and we have an office in DC. So we do every federal issue you can imagine. We do all the immigration issues. We do passports. We do visas. We do every imagined federal agency. If you need something, if you tell us, we have built relationships, in all these agencies to try to get things done. The federal government's a little messed up right now, but we work hard to get things done. I'll tell you probably the nicest thing I get to do is I get to nominate people for. I get to do 10 people. Next year will be 15 people. 10 people for each of the academies, each of our 5 academies. And so we put a lot of effort into that. We had over 500 applicants last year. So we were able to nominate 50 people. But what we also do is we work with congressional members that don't get as many applications. And so we try to spread out so we get as many Floridians that get a nomination. And so we were able to get a lot of people accepted. It's not just all we can do is the nomination, but we've gotten a lot of people accepted. And so congratulations. I have 6 grandsons and a granddaughter, and so I'm taking all my grandsons to all the academies. I enlisted at 18, and they all love the military, and I hope they all serve. I swab the decks a lot. I hope they are officers, but I'm sure both are good jobs. If there's anything you need out of the federal government, that's my job. Now, you guess what? We don't get to govern if we don't win elections. I mean, it's as simple as that. Our country's in trouble. Our country's in trouble. Our hemisphere's in trouble. Our world's in trouble. We've got to start fighting better for what we believe in. We're blessed. We're in America. We get to live our dream. That's only going to be true if we elect people that believe in our dream and are not socialists, don't want to go down the path of Cuba or Venezuela, Nicaragua, or the path that looks like Colombia is going down. So we've got to get out there and vote. I tell people we've got to get out there. We've got to get people to. Is it better to sit down for this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We've got to get people. We got to get people to vote. So what I tell everybody, you got to get out there and vote. If the earlier you can vote, the better off you are, because if you're on a campaign, you're spending all your money to get the votes in, right? That's how you win an election. So if you vote early, then we don't have to bug you with phone calls and text and continued mail pieces. So vote as early as you can. If you're in Chicago, people say vote often. Hopefully we don't have laws like that, but in our state, people can do that. The other thing is, if you want to make sure your elections are fair, be a poll watcher. Go get involved and do those things. We need them all over the state. Anybody that's part of a Republican club will tell you that you need poll watchers at all of our precincts. You hope everybody does the right thing. If you remember back in 2018, election night, my grandson, who is 7, my oldest was 7 at the time, he said, "Grandpa, am I going to be on television?" I said, "August, you're going to be on television tonight, whatever happens." I was supposed to lose. Every poll in all my races said I was going to lose, every public poll. So we won by 57,000 votes. He was so excited. His grandfather won the Senate. Unfortunately, 2 days later, I had to explain to him we had a recount because the Democrats violated the law, and they counted 95,000 ballots illegally after election night. And if it wasn't for y'all, all the volunteers that showed up, and 1,000 lawyers, we would have lost. I'm the only Republican in 2018 that won in a swing state in the Senate. And it's because we won the election, and then we proved that we won the election. You've got to do both. So your votes matter. Now, I think you said that you now have 41 Republicans, elected Republicans now in Broward County. We should, if you stop and think about it, we should win every seat. I think about, why would anybody vote to take away their freedom? If you vote for a Democrat today, that's what you're doing. You're voting for somebody else to run your life and make your decisions. Why would you vote to have an open border? We believe we're an immigration state. We've probably been more blessed than any state in the country with immigration. So we all love immigration in this state. But we don't want illegal immigration. We don't want drugs. We don't want terrorists. We don't want criminals. I've been to the border. You know, most of the people that are coming across our border are wonderful people who want to come and live our dream. We ought to have a program for them to do that legally. But this idea that we're going to allow drugs in and criminals in and terrorists in is the craziest idea ever. And what Biden has done is he tainted legal immigration. That's what he's done. We should love immigration in this country. Our country's been built on immigration. And what this guy has done is he tainted the whole process. So hopefully with President Trump, we're going to fix it. I can just tell you, in the Senate, the first thing I try to do up there is try to fix TPS, because it's a disaster right now. People have there's no permanency. That doesn't make any sense. And every time I've done it, the Democrats have blocked it, because they don't want to solve the problem. Most of us didn't grow up in rich families. I didn't grow up in a rich family. Inflation is killing our poor people. You look at the groceries are up probably 30% in 3.5 years. Gas prices are up 50%. Homes are up 50%. Rents up 50%. It's nice that some of the non-essential things are not up as much, but inflation is really hurting us. If we don't start electing people that are going to watch the money, look, there's things government should do, but there's so many things government ought to get the heck out of. It makes no sense what government's involved in. So we got to start electing people that are going to say, I want safety nets, but I don't want permanent nets. Let me give you some numbers. How many people in America 16 to 64. Now, first off, raise your hand if you've told your child you don't want them ever to have a job. Nobody's raising your hand. Okay. Oh, you did that. Okay. So, you know how many people 16 to 64 do not work in this country today? 100 million. 100 million people. You cannot build a country like that, where our young people don't have jobs because they have some government program that's told them you shouldn't work and we'll give you money. That's what they're doing to your kids. That makes no sense what we're doing. Federal spending is completely out of control. We've had a 2% increase in population in 5 years. Guess how much spending is? We haven't done budgets. When I was governor, we did a budget. We balanced a budget every year. You probably have a budget and you balance a budget every year, right? So we don't have budgets. We have spending bills. Spending is up 55% in 5 years. Anybody that believes interest rates are coming down is crazy. They can't come down. We have to refinance every year now $8 to $10 trillion of treasuries and sell $2 trillion of new treasuries. Who's going to buy them? So what we have to do is we have to win elections, and then we have to govern the way we campaign. So I'm very appreciative. If there's anything I can help with any Colombians or anybody else, that's my job. I fight for liberty and freedom because I want to live it here. And guess what? We're all safer if we have it in Cuba, in Venezuela, in Colombia, in Nicaragua, all these places. This idea that we don't give a damn about Latin America, which so many people in national politics don't, is crazy. This is our border. This is our hemisphere. These are our neighbors. These are our friends. These are our relatives. And so we've got to let people who are going to go fight for this. So it's nice to be here. If there's anything I can do, it's my job.
Thank you. A microphone to work, as you have to have the phone on. But I'm going to start with one thing, Senator. I hope you guys all helping. Can you pull up the signs? Let's do a selfie, you and me, Senator.
Okay.
But you don't need to stand up.
Okay.
Ready, guys? Come on. Get those signs out there. There you go. Come on. Alrighty. I don't know. I thought I'd do that.
By the way, who's up for election right now? Okay, everybody's up for election. Let's make sure we win.
Yes.
Go. This I just want to make sure. Do you know how you win statewide elections? You win every local election.
Right.
I get the same number of votes as all of you together. Mm-hmm. It's real simple. This is a team sport. All right. So I tell people, I love people to campaign and volunteer for my campaign. But reality is, whose ever campaign you've campaigned for, get every vote you can. Maximize every vote. If we do that, then we're going to win statewide, and then Donald Trump will be our next president.
Es un placer estar aquí. Es un día de independencia de Colombia. Es importante la lucha por libertad y democracia en Colombia, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba, toda América Latina. Gracias a todos que luchamos por libertad y democracia. So I don't know, Fabio, do you want to say something real quick?
No, I just wanted to thank Senator Scott because he's always been very clear about socialism, very clear about Colombia, very clear who Petro is. So, Senator, thank you very much because we're with you. We need you in the Senate. We need you for 6 more years because Colombia, United States, is very important to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo soy David Borrero, representante estatal. Rick Scott tiene mi endoso y apoyo totalmente. Ojalá que todos los colombianos americanos como yo, salgan a votar para él. Él necesita nuestro apoyo. Y hoy, como hemos estado celebrando el Día de Independencia de Colombia, como hace 214 años atrás que se pusieron a la calle a protestar contra el liderazgo español en ese país, como no lo estaban dejando a practicar la libertad. Rick Scott se ha puesto muy firmemente contra opresión, contra socialismo, ha apoyado la libertad para nosotros como colombianos americanos, periodo, y de verdad que merece nuestro apoyo. Así que estamos aquí conmemorando ese día y a la misma vez celebrando a la vida de Rick Scott como un liderazgo que lucha para la libertad.
I just want to say on behalf of the city of Weston and as the mayor of the city of Weston, I want to personally thank Rick Scott, Senator Scott, Governor Scott, for everything that he has for everything that he has done for the Colombian residents here in the city of Weston, as well as those individuals that have come here from South America. He is tops in supporting them, whether it's immigration issues with passports, any question that you might have, Senator Scott is available to answer them. Thank you, Senator Scott.
We have a great team. It's a good work.
Senador, una pregunta, por favor. Lo voy a hacer en español porque quiero que sea un mensaje para los venezolanos que saldrán el día 28 a votar. Solo quedan 7 días. Hay que cumplir con el sufragio universal porque es sagrado y secreto. Y es una cosa que todos los venezolanos tenemos la necesidad de votar por un cambio y se restaure el sistema constitucional otra vez y democrático. Un mensaje para los venezolanos.
La elección en Venezuela es muy importante. Es muy importante para el pueblo de Venezuela. Es muy importante de la seguridad nacional de los Estados Unidos. Es muy importante que todos los venezolanos voten en la elección y necesitan un cambio real en Venezuela.
Thank you so much.
Senator, can I ask you a quick question? A lot of Democrats are asking for Biden to step down. What's your opinion on that?
Well, nothing's going to change. All the Democrats have supported the same policies that Biden supported: an open border, which means we have drugs come across the border, we have criminals, we have terrorists come across the border. They've supported massive government spending, which has caused this inflation. They've supported a military that's more focused on pronouns and focused on being lethal. So nothing's going to change whether Biden's the nominee or not.
And your reaction on Trump's speech on Thursday to the Republic?
First, I'm glad he was there. I'm glad the assassin was not able to kill him. It's the grace of God that he's even still there and still in the race. I think he's done a great job. He's going to do everything he can to bring our country back together. It's a real choice. It's a simple choice. We've had 2 individuals that have had the presidency. One had an open border, Biden. One had a closed border, Trump. One had no inflation, Trump. One had massive inflation, Biden. One had our enemies respected us. Our allies respected us. Our enemies feared us. That was under Trump. It's the opposite under Biden. So now we've got wars going on in two places in the world. We had none of that going on with Trump as president. So Trump needs to win, which will give us a big opportunity to change.
Okay. Another question. A lot of Floridians are struggling nowadays with homeowners insurance. It seems like now FEMA has changed the maps and more people are paying more for insurance. What do you hope is there some relief for Floridians down the road if you're elected?
Sure. There's 2 issues. One is the property insurance program. All right, that is run by the state of Florida. What we've got to do at that level is do what I did when I became governor. You've got to recruit more companies to expand in the state. As you know, when I became governor, State Farm was leaving the state. We got them to expand in the state. That's one thing we have to do. Number 2 is at the state level, what they've got to do is they've got to get rid of the fraud. Fraud is what's causing this massive increase in property insurance. At the flood insurance program, I've been focused on that since I was governor. What we have to do is we have to change the program. We are a donor state. Our flood insurance rate should not be going up. It's going up because of the way the federal program is run. So 1, I'm trying to get that fixed. Number 2, trying to make sure that it's based on the on real losses, which would mean our rates should not go up. Actually, should come down. On top of that, we got to make sure under the National Flood Insurance Program we have a private market, and we got to stop the federal government from stopping people from selling both a national flood insurance program and a private market program, because that's all they're trying to do is keep us in the national program so we can pay for other states.
Thank you.
As you know, we're celebrating the independence of Colombia, and they're currently being governed as a socialist government. Does that mean that the U.S. should change the relationship that we have with them?
Well, we've got to hold them accountable. We can't be promoting Petro as a terrorist, part of Decide Nueve. We've got to hold them accountable. We've got to talk about the things that Petro is doing wrong. We've got to continue to support trade with Colombia, so we support freedom and democracy. But we got to call out Petro for what he is. He's a socialist. He's a terrorist, and not support him.
Thank you, Senator.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rick Scott, Rick Scott, Rick Scott, Rick Scott. Vamos a trabajar.
Ahora, the last one. Colombians with Rick Scott. Ready? 3, 2, 1.